Hey folks, thanks for joining me. I just was logging in to have a little bit of a good time before we go through some major updates for the Resonant Rise mod pack. We are coming up on being what we would call beta ready for the Resonant Rise mod pack. We've been sort of at the testing alpha phase, and it's definitely been a lot of ups and downs. We've discovered all sorts of interesting bugs with the mods, which is sort of to be expected. We came onto Minecraft 1.5.1 very early, and as a result, we've been finding a lot of bugs, and so it's been kind of prudent for us to wait and just let on testers that we trust. And then we're going to finish up with one big migration, which is getting ourselves to Biomes of Plenty 052. They have a world-breaking update, so it's good that we waited. And then we're going to start pursuing actual permissions. Step one will be I'm going to try talking to some folks at Feed the Beast and see if I can get them to host it. That'd be awesome. If not, then we'll go to each of the mod authors directly and do what Feed the Beast originally did. That will take longer. In the meantime, we'll post configs, mod listings, the whole 9 yards. Watch my channel for more information on that. I know I've been saying we're going to do it, but mostly it's just been a matter of trying to get every mod to the point where we're happy with it, right? We've been reporting bugs and we've been making decisions, and I don't know if every mod that I want to get into the system or into the mod pack will be in the mod pack. But enough talk about that. We'll be doing more of that soon. And I may even actually do a series Let's Mod Pack. I've been thinking about doing that and showing what I do to make a mod pack. I've had a lot of questions about how I maintain it, what I do, how I check it, and how I test it. And I'm certainly not the best mod pack maintainer in the world, but evidently I do a good enough job that people like what I'm doing. But let's get to the game. So I did a couple of fun things, like for example, bookcases from buildcraft work with basically everything. There's like one thing they don't work with. Just by accident, I misspelled something in a config. So next time we'll be having that. And I've had a ton of new spells as well. As you can see, we've got just a ton of them, including my personal favorite spell, Blink. Da 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 da. There we go. Bam. And I've been working on my workshop. As you can see, it's a lot prettier. Got a little hat over here. I've been doing a little bit of chemistry. For example, oh, you don't say. Starch and sucrose. Interesting. I wonder what I can do with those. Minechem's kind of one of those mods that's perpetually in a tough state. I'm hoping that they'll get it to be better because it really has a lot of potential to be very fun. And it's one of those equivalent exchange style mods, but without a lot of the problems of equivalent exchange. Anyways, you can also see my little desk here where I've been keeping my chemist journal, and we can pull this open and all sorts of interesting stuff. I'm hoping that we can get that mod working. Gosh, buildcraft is so cool, isn't it? Anyways, what I wanted to work on today is I'm pretty happy with this setup. Oh, by the way, this is a little buildcraft thing. You can see I'm keeping my wrench in there. I only need it to donk these things if they ever overheat. I've never had this conduits blow up. I've only had those engines overheat. So hooray for King Lemming for getting that right. Anyways, what we would like to do is deal with our power concerns. Now I want to start getting a bunch more stuff running and actually go to ore tripling via mechanism. It's something we can do. It doesn't take as long as factorization. It's a little bit more resource intensive, and you'll see what I mean by that, but it's definitely doable. But before we can really get there, we need a power source. And these, these engines are not bad. You can see I flipped one on earlier, and they're useful. But I would like to do a little bit better than that. Now, there's a bunch of stuff that we can do. But I thought it would be pretty cool to start with some mechanism. Now, I've got some plans to have Ars Magica generate power, but I'd like to do the mechanism thing first just because I actually think fewer people have seen mechanism than even Ars Magica. Kind of funny how that works out. So what we're going to be doing today is setting up a system by which we generate universal electricity. We generate a small passive amount of it, right? And then we convert that to mine joules for these machines. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to be using energy cubes. This is the recipe for a basic energy cube. A basic energy cube holds energy and outputs energy at 120 volts. But don't let that fool you. It also outputs energy in a variety of other power systems, depending on what it's hooked up to. This is a built-in thing. And the default ratios are a little weird, but we can fix that. It's all configurable, so we're definitely going to be tweaking that around. But it won't matter for today, because the default conversions to the mine joules or the megajoules from buildcraft are pretty stable. So we're going to start by making some of these, and then we're going to start by making some heat generators. As you can see, these things have a pretty cool little model, right? We'll see it in a second, right? They are generators that work based off having warm blocks nearby, so hot, like lava or fire. We're going to be using lava. Now, unlike many lava-based power sources, they don't consume the lava. They just react to it, right? And let's see. If you look, you can see a little bit of lava. One of the reasons I chose this camp is because we have a little bit of lava over there on the upper left near that bay. A little bit of lava will go out and poach. But why don't we get first to building the actual system, and then we'll look into seeing if we can make something pretty. I'd like to show you a little thing I was working on earlier and experimented with, and I'd love to do it. So to start with, we're going to need a few things. One of the things we're going to need is to actually make these heat generators, right? Because the first thing we'll need is that. So we need some osmium ingots and some enriched alloy and some enriched iron. Now, enriched alloy is just cooked enriched iron. And enriched iron is a variety of things. And I hear you, Enderman. I hear you. Probably the recipe we're going to be going for, since we have a lot of iron, is iron and redstone. So let's grab some iron. Let's grab some redstone. And let's walk over here. This should be plenty for our uses to start, right? And let's say we'll throw, funny, we'll throw, let's kick some power onto these guys. And let's say we throw maybe half of it in. And we got power going? Yes, we'll need a little bit more to start. Our energy reserves are low. There we go. So while that's cooking, I'll talk a little about what we're going to be doing here. We are going to be first setting up some heat generators over here in this wall, I think, and we'll put some energy cubes over there. And we'll have them run to this pipe. We could even reuse our old engines if we'd like. We could put the energy cube for mine jewels. We're going to make 2 of them right here where this wooden pipe is, right? And then these engines can output their energy into the energy cube, and that too will act as if it is an input. So you don't just have to feed them with universal electricity. It's just that universal electricity in this pack has a lot of nice options. We could even build IC2 solars and have them feed in too. It even speaks IC2. And Greg Tech machines, I'm excited to say, now directly support that energy, so they don't even have to do any conversion. They just take it directly. And so Greg's doing some good stuff there. But before we can get all excited about the power we have, we're going to have to make a little bit of infrastructure. So we'd like to dig into the wall a little bit here, and as you can see, we got this wonderful underground biomes blue schist, and I've been making these bricks, which are really quite nice. And we're going to need to dig in a little bit because we do need to be careful. We're going to be having lava in here, right? And we want to be a little cautious about that. Oh, look. The little space in here, one of those civilization holes. We want to be cautious about having lava in our base, right? Anybody who's had lava nearby can tell you that occasionally it just spawns fire. And we definitely don't want anything bad or untoward happening to our base. Fire breaking out in our machine room would be disastrous, of course. So we're going to be making the entire structure out of solid stone, of course, and we are going to be, let's keep a little bit of this around, we are going to be ensuring that we're very safe with all of that. I'm going to toss these up here. We can talk about those later. So let's see. Let's just dig this out a little bit. Now, there are a couple ways I could have gone for better power. One of the ways that's really popular these days, I think, is to use biological power. And we're going to leave this open for now. And biological power, it means, taking power via, all sorts of different mechanisms, like burning trees. There's all sorts of interesting techniques you can use there, and forestry has really popularized that. And Mine Factory Reloaded has its own very novel systems. How are we doing on this? Okay, so we can turn off one of these now. To be diligent. One of the reasons I want a passive power generation is that I don't want to have to keep turning these guys on and off. All right, so what else are we going to need while we're talking about? Let's talk about the generators first. We should have enough enriched alloy to do what we need to do. What about for our... We're going to need to make 2 energy cubes. All right. So we're going to need some steel for this, for a steel casing. Now, I unfortunately don't have a lot of good ways to make steel right now. I'm going to have to do it the so-called expensive way. Okay. So one of the ways we can make steel, this pack we could use it using the railcraft method. Or we could do it using other methods. So one of the ways that we can do it is the universal electricity method, which is the most expensive method. But unfortunately, we need a lot of steel. We need it pretty fast. We're going to need 10 steel. So to make this, what we can do is do the least efficient way. So we'll need 10 iron bars in the middle, right? And we're going to need, we put, you'll see like this. That's fine for now. Let's see, and then we just got, I thought I grabbed enough. No. Yes, we get the steel dust with this recipe. As you can see, this is the least efficient recipe we could possibly ask for. Right? Not a good recipe at all. But we need steel. And well, unfortunately, that's the best way for us to make it right now. I haven't bothered investing in any of the other things. So here we go. We'll start making the steel. And while that's happening, the first thing we're going to be doing is digging out a little pit here. And we're going to put lava here. I don't know if we're going to make all 5 yet. We're going to start on the right and fill across, and we'll see how we feel as we go. But we will then also, the heat generators that as you'll see, will fit here, 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 and here. And they are not only going to be sitting on lava, but they're going to have a lava here. They're going to be holding back a little trench of it. So let's go ahead and put up some dirt there, just to kind of help us. Eventually, we'll be able to place that. All right, and where's my mattock? There we are. Probably don't need this bow and arrow while I'm indoors. So let's keep this stuff out. Right. Right, good stuff. We'll leave that there for now because we'll need to get in here. We'll need to get in here too, but you get the idea. Why not? Okay, how are we doing over here? Looks like we just cooked up a load of steel. So let's take a look. There's our steel. All right, wonderful. And we can. Looks like he is about to burn out. Let's leave him off. And also, I'm just curious. Is Minecraft steel working? No, it's not. Sad. Oh, look, we could assemble steel in a decomposer with carbon and iron. Looks like we can't make it, but we could without a process, but we could assemble it. Interesting. Minecraft can't make everything, but it can disassemble almost everything. So it's an interesting trade-off. All right. We'll have to clean up this room in a sec, but why don't we go ahead? We have a bunch of iron in our inventory, and let's do this. There's another nice feature. So let's go like this, and let's just make one. We got 16. Oh, whoa. Whoops. That wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, was it? I hate these nugget things. And yes, as expected. Okay. Ugh, crisis averted. All right, so we got 16 buckets, which is probably more than we need. But that's okay. I misclicked. I pay the price. And what do you know? It's light outside. All right, so let's go get some lava. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Creeper. Creeper creeps. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes. Looks like he was a little hurt. You get away from my beehive. Oh, boy. Okay, I thought there was another creeper, but there wasn't actually another creeper. It's just those damn hats. Do we have any spells we could use against him? Not any good ones. You know what? This is a terrible idea, isn't it? This is the special ability of the longsword from Tinker's Construct. As you can see, it lets you kind of jump forward and then knock enemies way back. It's actually pretty good for dealing with creepers. The big problem I have is that this is like not a very good sword. A little bit of gunpowder. So, oh, I'm sorry, cow. I cannot save you. You die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. Why would I? Well, that's what we'll have for now. Okay. Sheep, be cautious. That's fiery over there. And how are we doing here? Normal, normal, normal. Living your life. I see bees. I'm hoping that by crossing this oak tree with these up here that we'll get a silver lime. That's the first step toward chestnut, and eventually I'll need seed oil for, real apiaries and things, and not these lousy ones. Wake up, door. There we go. Okay, so let's clean up our inventory a little bit. Let's just toss this in this little storage chest. Let's get rid of the rest of these buckets. Don't need the shardaminium for now. And that gunpowder probably doesn't need to be there for now either. All right. So step one is we are going to fill this up with lava. This little trench here. 3. May not have quite enough to do everything we want, but we can go back and get more, right? You saw there was a fair amount over there. 4. Okay, got a nice little lava trench, and it should be, you know, safe, right? I don't think it can cause any real problems over there. Okay, so let's go ahead and toss those right there, and let's just sort our inventory. Perfect. And let's start building those heat generators, right? So the first thing we need to do is just make some steel casings, which we may not be able to use this style of steel. Let's see, a steel casing is steel. Ah, that's why. I was misreading the recipe. We'll need a bunch of this osmium anyway, so let's grab, you see I collected a fair sum, so let's grab a stack of osmium. And let's go like this. Well, like this. Same deal as before, but we'll pull out the last piece. And then switch it like that. Aha! Steel casings. Fantastic. And let's definitely not do that. That would be a pain to fix. Okay, so then what else do we need for our energy cube? We need energy tablets, I see. Oh boy, these are expensive. But we'll need some of that enriched alloy we cooked up. Let's go grab that. Let's go grab some gold. And let's let NEI do the work for us. We need an energy tablet, huh? Are we missing something? Oh, we're missing redstone, huh? Watch, thrill, as Dave manages his inventory. Right? Right. Yeah. That's all full, huh? Oh, well. Okay, do I really have enough? I need everything I need now? Okay, I have gold, I have enriched alloy, I have redstone, definitely. Okay, so let's make 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Let's toss that in. Well, no, let's keep you on hand. Let's toss this. We don't really need that much more iron right now, but we don't need any more steel. All right, so let's try this one more time. Okay, we're going to need 4 of these guys. And we need 1 more. All right, so now we have the 4 energy cube, or 4 energy tablets. And these things by themselves are batteries, and they're pretty cool. They actually store a lot of energy for a battery, and they work with almost every system out there. So, you know, cool. So let's now go ahead and make one of these guys. Now, I think the only thing I'm missing for this recipe is offhand is lapis. So let's go. Oh, let's pick all this up. Jeez. And let's grab some lapis. And I've been pretty successful in gathering lapis. So let's just grab a stack. Yeah. So we got 1. Can we do another? Are we missing anything for another? Nope, we aren't. It just doesn't do it. Okay, there we go. So now we have 2 basic energy cubes. Why 2, you ask? Well, we want 1 for electricity for later on, and we want 1 for actually converting things to mind joules. So now the goal here is to do this. So basic energy cube. We can actually install this guy right now. First, let's get an empty hand. I need an empty hand. Empty hand. Okay, there we go. And let's just open up our trusty wrench. Pop it out. And, well, you know, we can pop these guys. Well, you know what? You know what? No. Let's just leave it where it is and see if we can make it work just where it is, right? So let's just break this guy. And maybe I can just do it like this. Okay. And now I think I just need to pop this guy off. Right? And, yeah, and then I could, whoa, yeah, this is going to be perfect. Check this out. Check this out, folks. There we go. Exactly what we want. So now, let's open up this UI, and you can see here, this is the basic energy cube. A fancy device. So let's actually start by kicking on these engines. Right, here they go. Watch as we actually start to see the energy go out, and it gets immediately sucked out into these other machines that have their own energy buffer. And as you can see, it outputs at a pretty fast rate, right? It's not creating energy out of nothing, obviously. It has an even conversion, so it's doing exactly what the engines would do, right? You can see it goes up, up. It buffers it a little bit, so it looks good. And then here's the cool thing: unlike like a redstone energy cell, and unlike engines, it doesn't continuously output. It monitors the network for demand, just like you'd expect, and does the right thing. So, num 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 num. Sorry. So here the engines are powering up this energy cube, and you can see we don't have even close to the amount of energy. Our energy production is quite small, and even once we're done with the little project here, it will remain quite small. So let's take a look at what we can do. So next, what we'd like to do is get some heat generators. But I would like to note that before we can even do that, before we even think about it, we have the generators. How are we going to connect them to the cube? Well, we need wiring. Unlike any mod, we're going to need wiring. So the wiring that we make, let's see, I should have it lying around here. We're going to need insulation for the wire. So if I make look for copper wire, you'll see the IC2 stuff in here. IC2 is currently installed. But insulated copper wire, as you can see, it actually has specific values in real-world units, milliohms of resistance, and max amps is 200 amps. You don't want to overcharge your wires. That's not good. Anyways, as you can see, we need wire insulation. Well, we can make that inefficiently with wool, or we can use leather, right? So we can use either. Later on, there are other machines that will give us more efficient ratios, but we need some sort of material, and we don't use rubber. So I happen to have some leather here. So why don't we cook up a nice big stack of that? And now that we've installed this energy cube, right, we've got a much more efficient way of going about doing things. As you can see, we're slowly bleeding this battery dry. Let's get those guys back on. We didn't really run those engines for long enough to. In fact, let's just let those engines dry out. Nothing will break. And as you can see, we're amassing a little bit of this stuff. So let's let that amass. And actually, we need to add one more, don't we, for it to be even? It was 11. We'd like to add one more. So now we have 2 stacks of wire. While that's cooking up, and while these engines are delivering their best, let's go ahead and try to make the heat generators. Right? So let's look at heat generator again. What do we need? Okay, we don't need any steel. We need that enriched alloy and enriched iron. We need redstone and iron. Well, I think we should have everything for that. Let's see how many we can make with what we got on hand. Shift-click. Okay, we can make 3. Let's start with 3. All right, so we place them, I think, like this. Yes. So, 2 and then 3. I'd like to make 5. We'll have to see what we're out of. Probably, yeah, we're out of enriched alloy. Let's cook up a little bit more of that since we're cooking things. Right. So these guys are now outputting a small amount of power, but it's heating up gradually, and they'll heat up more over time, right? So we'll just leave them like this for now. So now why don't we make some wire, and we'll hook them up to another energy cube, and then route that into this one as the primary power. And we're probably going to route. By the way, check out my new pickaxe, made of new alloy, and I think that's right there. Righto. Yes. Okay. So next up, let's make that. We need copper. And we need wire. So as I recall, we get 2 sets of that. And then we get, we need the insulation, don't we? My inventory is so full. I'm just going to go over here and toss these in the right chest. These go here, this goes here, here. My tools and magic chest, as you can see. But I also sometimes toss wooden slabs in there, haha. Also, that you can see there's a stack of the buildcraft stuff. We don't need that gold pipe. We have better stuff now. Okay. So yes, let's grab the insulation. And we will go like this, way out. There we go, 2 of those, and we can just spread all this in the middle. And we now get 12 insulated copper wire. Let's just take that out. Let's see, how can we do this in such a way that it makes sense? Let's see what we can do. No, we don't want to do it there. We'd like to be able to reach this. So let's, we want the cube to be able to output that way. Right? So, and we'd like to be able to reach the cube. So how about we put it right here. This will look cool, I think. So that goes there. And then we just run a little bit of wire to there. Okay? And now that system will start being fed by that one. Now, we're keeping all the power in universal electricity, so let's just chop this down with my many talented mattock. And we just go 1, 2, 3, right? And we'll see this guy's staying low, but this guy is charging much faster than before, right? Now, these guys won't generate too much energy offhand. It'll be a kind of a slow, steady trickle. They're kind of the underground equivalent of solar, but you know, it's a solid power source. You can't complain. I mean, you could, I suppose, if you were a jerk. Right. Okay, so next up, we will, as you can see, we're not drawing power anymore, so we're just getting pure output. And it's going to be a long, long time before we have quite that much power. And then we're going to have a whole doubling of that that will occur over here. But, and let's just to prove that we're pushing power in. As you can see, we're still pushing power in. And these guys really are, they're, actually I would say that maybe right now this is about equal to the output of these two. Well, no, it's about maybe half as much as the output of these two. So it's the output of one engine for these three guys. And we're going to actually improve that a little bit. By the end it should be equal. Okay, so what we need is 2 more heat generators, definitely. What do we need for that? Again, what am I missing? What do I lack? Osmium and the enriched alloy. Did I toss more of that in there? I did. And let's toss even more in there. We have the osmium, we have the technology, heat generator. Okay. Oh, we can just make 2 with what we got. Great. Okay. And then we go like that. And we go like that. Now, we can just add this and wait for the server to catch up. There we go. So as you can see, these guys are outputting a steady 5 joules. A bare trickle, right? Not great. We'd like for them to do more. So let's see what we can do about that. If we were to put this right here, right? So you can see that there's it cares about adjacent blocks. So we put that there, right? As you can see, now we've doubled it. In fact, you know, I bet you if we were cautious, if we were careful, if we were clever, we could even put another line of lava here. Yeah, we definitely could do that. So let's just put down what we have so far, and then I'll run back and get another thing of it off camera, because it's no fun watching me run out at night, dodging monsters. Oh, what are you talking about? It's very fun to watch me fail over and over. Okay, and we got one more that we can do right now. So these things, there is the equivalent of solar. We'll just let that drill. But now we've doubled our power output. As you can see, we're getting a substantially better joule output from this. And we're not using too much wire, so we're actually in pretty good shape. So I'm really happy about this, because this means that I can actually start building a few more buildcraft machines. I really, really, really want to get into the new thermal expansion stuff. And there's just been a flood of new content from that mod author. All hail King Lemming, right? Let's just do the basics for now. Do I have enough inventory space? We don't need this. Any of these things for the moment. We can just drop them off. Alright, I'm going to go grab some lava. I'll be right back. Oh dear, I should not be out at night, should I? Can you see that? Let's just make sure that you can see. Yeah, I hope you can. Just look at all those creepers out there. There's like 5 creepers. That's just not fair. Okay. Right. So next up, let's see what we can do here. I went and I got some more lava. As you can see, I have a bunch of lava. Got another bucket, got more lava. Filled that in. So now we're generating 10 joules all across the board. And we never have to care about these engines again. We can use them, and they're kind of a booster for our power. But we're power positive, I think, even without. And we'll test that in just a sec. That'll be a great test. Because we should be power positive, even though these guys aren't power positive if we run both machines. And I'll show you how we're going to do that in a sec. But, right, so what we'd like to do next is test the hypothesis that with a source block on top, we don't, cause an explosion. So I'm going to do that over here. Right? Seems like a fair plan. Yes, that's why. Got to be careful. Let's just put that there, and let's test it out now. Doesn't seem to be causing anything to explode. And now we're getting another 5 joules out. Right, great. It's a little premature to start. Yeah, let's just take that off for a sec. That's fantastic. Right, so we can get triple the output from these guys. We really can't go any further than that though, because you can't hook them up to anything, and they only can really connect on one side. So we will have to be a little careful here. Hey, server block lag. Huh. All right. So then, what we'd like to do. Sounds like it's sunlight outside, huh? What we'd like to do is make a nice safe barrier for all of this. Now, one of the things I was thinking of doing was using another mod to have some kind of nice stuff. So let's see, how many blocks do we need to hold this all in check? One, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 glass. Let's say 5 glass just to make it pretty. We could use glass. Glass would look good, right? And in fact, I'm going to toss in got some sand here, right? Let's make some glass, right? Oldest recipe in the book. We should be power positive, right? Or at least not going down, right? As we go here. Looks like we're good on that. With these all outputting 10 joules a tick, or 10. Oh yeah, you see we went up. Okay, so we're a little bit power positive, but let's toss in a little something different. So I'm going to set this up to not automatically forward. I'm going to make some copper dust. Let's also test this. Oh, looks like we're not quite power positive yet. We're losing a little bit of power. No problem though, we can fix that. These sorts of passive power generations are not supposed to be exceptionally good. And they shouldn't be, right? But making mine joules passively, pretty awesome. All right, so we got some copper dust here. And what I would like to do is make some blue glass, as you can see here. You may have noticed me. And for that, we need glass dust. And we need blue glass dust, and we need copper dust. So let's see what we can do here. And so for glass dust, I think I actually can toss a little bit of this stuff into the, yes, check it out. 10. There we go. Oh, wait. It brings it back into sand? How do I get glass dust? Hold YouTube. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go check. All right. I was just using the wrong mod. It happens. Right? So what we actually want to be using is blue stained glass, right? So for this we need just glass and some ceramic dye, which is just clay and lapis. Turns out I have these things. Not quite in spades with the clay, but I could make more if I needed it. So let's go ahead and make this chunk of clay. Let's say maybe half of it. Let's just make 10. Oh wow, actually we can make it plenty. There we go. Let's toss in another. There we go. And that should be enough for now. And then we can take that with our glass. We'll make this really spiffy looking stained glass, which I will show you in just a sec. Oh, look. It's Liara from the Feed the Beast forums. She is showing off her new power suit model, which evidently is pretty intense. Working on my power. She is AP Cymorgs from the Feed the Beast forums. All right, so let's make sure we have a little bit of room up here to work. Oh, and this, look, we have Mouse from the forums too. Hi, Mouse. They are just dropping in to see what's up. So, for some reason, Optifine really lags in my house. Fine typing. All right, so let's get some of this stained glass laid out. I think this will look cool. I think I may use regular glass for the restraining thing and use like this. I'll need some more glass and more dye for this, huh? Yes, we can fix that in a sec. Let's use the regular glass we're cooking up for this part of it. I did not... Did I use it all? No, we're good. Okay. 1, 2. 3, 4. Okay, so that should be sufficient for our purposes here. So now let's toss in, and you know what we could do? We could just to really make this build clean. Oh no! What have I done? I'll have to go grab some lava in a sec. Just for the purposes of really making this build clean, let's carefully add some bricks here, right? So now the build is just super clean, super tight. And let's add some of this here. 1. Hopefully that won't, yeah, it doesn't break anything. Good. I was kind of had this fear that it would, like, you know, light the energy cube on fire. 2. 3. I have 1 more for now. We'll finish up the trench before we seal the build. Okay. Well, there we go. So people are wondering what I'm using. This is, of course, all mechanism that I said. By the way, the stained glass is from Mine Factory Reloaded. As you can see, it looks pretty good. Pretty good, I think. You can see all that stuff. How are we doing on glass? Enough to probably just... let's take... It looks like we could probably get away with just... Let's make the rest. It looks cool, right? What the heck was that? I don't even know what Liara is up to over there. Oh. And let's just get that part done. Let's leave this side open for now so we can get back in there. But, you know, looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. And I've got a fun idea for a door later, too. We can get rid of this. The blue theme. All right, so barring 1 block of lava, we now have pretty significant power generation going on here. You could see that that's quite a bit faster than before. I don't know, maybe she can't do it. One of the coolest things, by the way, about these energy cubes is if I go like this, you say, Dave, no, you're powered. Oh, don't worry about it. Check it out. You can see the damage bar. It actually keeps... We can move it just like thermal expansion batteries. We can move these guys, and they've got all their power, and we're now filled up on that. The only thing I don't like about this, and this is easy to fix too, is we can go like this. Yes. That's interesting, huh? Well, you know what? I kind of like it. It has like a warp core feel, you know? It has like this weird lava warp core. Righto. Get rid of that for now. I think you actually do need an empty. Well, anyways, oh, Pikachu. Okay, so with that, we pretty much got the power generation in hand. I'll go grab another bucket of lava, and should be good.